All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to be diving into a tool that's really designed to change how developers build on Salesforce. We're talking about the Copado AI Coach. So here's what we've got on top. We're going to start with a pretty surprising story from a 1930s plane crash, believe it or not. Then we'll see how those exact same lessons apply to modern software disasters. And finally, we'll explore how this new kind of AI coach is trying to prevent them. You know, to really get a handle on the future of development, sometimes you've got to look back. And we're going way back to a fascinating story from 1935. This was a moment that really changed how we think about handling complexity. Imagine this. It's 1935. Boeing has just built this absolute beast of a plane they're calling the Flying Fortress, a total marvel of technology. They've got their best, most skilled pilots in the cockpit, but on its very first real flight, the plane stalls, crashes, and explodes. And the crazy part, the investigation found it wasn't a mechanical failure. The plane was just too complex for even an expert to fly from memory. One tiny, fatal error was all it took. So, what was the fix? You'd think more training or find better pilots, right? Nope. The solution was something incredibly simple but absolutely revolutionary: a pilot's checklist. Just a basic list of steps for takeoff, flight, and landing. And this tiny idea, it didn't just save the B-17 program, it completely changed aviation, medicine, you name it, forever. Okay, so here's the big takeaway, right? Checklists are powerful. They're amazing tools. But now, let's fast forward to the digital age, where the complexity we're dealing with makes that B-17 look like a paper airplane. What happens when the checklist itself just isn't enough? $450 million. Let that sink in for a second. That's how much money the billion-dollar firm Knight Capital lost. And the most insane part? It all vanished in just a matter of minutes. So check this out. At 9:30 a.m., a technician makes a single manual error while deploying some new software, a tiny mistake. By 10:10 a.m., that's just 40 minutes later, the company is teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Now, they had checklists, they had all the processes in place, but one simple human error slipped through the cracks and triggered an absolute catastrophe. And that story brings us right to the heart of the challenge we face in development today, right? We have all these things: code reviews, static analysis, quality gates. They're all just digital checklists, really. And yet, we still get those last-minute surprises, dependencies that break everything, and issues popping up in production. So what are we missing here? Well, what's missing is a partner that's proactive, something that's there to help you while you're building, not just standing there like a gatekeeper at the very end. You know, we need a coach, not just a referee. And that's really the whole idea behind Copado AI Coach. It's not just another tool that gives you a thumbs up or thumbs down at the finish line. It's designed to be your pair programmer. It's analyzing what you're doing in real time, it understands the context of your work, and it's there to help you get better as you go. Okay, so how does this coach actually work? How does it score what you're doing? Well, it all comes down to an AI-powered scorecard that builds this really complete picture of quality. So the coach looks at every single user story and gives it a score out of 100. But here's what's cool. It's not just a technical score. Look at how it's weighted. A huge 40% is for the story score, which basically asks, did you actually build what the business wanted? Another big 40% is for security, and then the remaining 20% is for the code quality itself. It's focused on what truly matters. Yeah, and the depth of this analysis is really the secret sauce here. The AI isn't just looking for typos in your code. It actually reads the user story to understand the business goal. If you're missing acceptance criteria, it can help write them for you. And this is huge. It analyzes both your custom code and your declarative point-and-click configuration. That means it can catch tricky logic errors in things like validation rules, the exact kind of stuff that even a busy tech lead might skim over. And get this, it doesn't just point out your mistakes, it actually helps you fix them. Here's a classic Salesforce problem: a so-called query stuck inside a for loop. That's a guaranteed way to hit your governor limits. But instead of just flagging it, the AI literally gives you the exact bulkified code snippet you need to fix it. Instantly, it knows your system's context and just hands you the solution. And this is all about building good habits, right? The coach is constantly reinforcing best practices. It's gently guiding you away from common mistakes, like hard coding IDs, and pushing you toward better, more scalable solutions, like using custom settings. It's like having a senior dev looking over your shoulder, but, without the pressure. So, what does all this actually mean for a team on a day-to-day basis? Well, it completely changes the whole review process. It makes it faster, way smarter, and a lot less of a bottleneck.
Think about it. Instead of every little piece of code getting stuck in a line waiting for a person to review it, the coach is your first line of defense. If your work is high quality, say it scores above an 80, boom, it's fast-tracked and automatically approved. If it needs some work, it gets sent right back to you with specific, helpful feedback. That means your tech lead only has to look at that stuff in the middle. It's a game changer for workflow.
And I really want to stress this point. This is not about replacing developers, it's about empowering them. For a junior dev, it's a safety net and an incredible learning tool. For a senior dev, it frees them up from the boring, repetitive reviews so they can focus on the big, gnarly architectural problems. It's all about making everyone better. And that leads to a really important principle here, which is building responsible, human-governed AI. The coach gives you suggestions, it can even auto-fix things for you, but at the end of the day, the developer, the human, always has the final say. It's an advisor, not a dictator.
Which really brings us to our final thought for today. The real power of a tool like this isn't just about catching a few bugs. It's about what you get back, time. By automating all that routine stuff, you create the space and the mental energy for genuine innovation. So the question I'll leave you with is this. If your team could just wipe out 80% of its routine code review tasks, what bigger problems could you solve? Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.